Here it is. President Trump just extended the deadline for TikTok, and just in time because it was set to go dark today. So the new deadline for TikTok is now September 17th. It is important to know that this order is different than the last two orders that Trump signed. It raises several questions that we got some answers to from the White House press secretary just a short time ago. And also TikTok has responded to this, so I'm going to share that with you as well. But first, let's talk about the extension itself. So here is President Trump's signature. As I have been reporting, the TikTok ban is the law. So if you are using TikTok today, you are using an app that is banned in the United States. Obviously, presidents can't magically make laws go away. So what President Trump did through executive order in January, then again in April, and then again today, is direct his Attorney General Pam Bondi to not enforce the law and not enforce the astronomical penalties that the law requires. He did that because he said that he could make a deal to keep TikTok alive in the United States and both comply with the law passed by Congress and also get China to sign off, which is required in this case. Now, by the way, not only was the law passed by an overwhelming number of Republicans and Democrats last year, but the United States Supreme Court upheld the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act as constitutional. So what makes this order different than the last two is that this order extends the deadline for TikTok by 90 days instead of 75 days. Why? Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just a few minutes ago.
Because it's more time to make a good deal.
Well, that seems obvious, right? But the fact is, so far there has not been any deal on the table, at least not one that we know of, that China has been willing to sign on to. So it's unclear what's different this time. Why the 90 days now? We just don't know. But TikTok did release a short statement thanking President Trump for another extension and saying that they would continue to work with Vice President Vance's office. Now, in case you did not know, President Trump delegated the deal-making for TikTok to the vice president several months ago. Now, the other major question with all of this is the question that I've been raising since December, which is the Supreme Court ruled that the law that banned TikTok is constitutional. That law does not give any president, the power to delay enforcement of the TikTok ban. The only allowance the law gives is it gives a president a one-time ability to extend the ban by 90 days, but only if a deal is imminent. Again, we don't know of any such deal and certainly don't know of one that is imminent. Yet President Trump has continued to extend the deadline twice by 75 days and now by another 90. So how is he able to do that? Why is he able to do that? Lots of legal scholars and even some Republican lawmakers are now starting to ask questions about what legal authority Trump is using. And some of those lawmakers are starting to lose patience that the law that they passed is not being enforced. President Trump has said repeatedly he absolutely has the power to extend enforcement of the TikTok ban for as long as he likes. And today, the press secretary said why.
And the White House counsel's office and the Department of Justice strongly believe in the legal rationale for this executive order. They wouldn't have the president's pen hit it if they didn't. And the political reasoning for this, of course, is because the president made a promise to keep TikTok on. There are 100 million Americans who use this app. It's wildly popular. He also wants to protect Americans' data and privacy concerns on this app, and he believes we can do both things at the same time. So he's making an extension so we can get this deal done.
Now, she did not explain what statute or authority Trump is using to continually delay implementation of the ban. All she said was the White House counsel and DOJ says Trump does have the power. It's important for you to know that is just a legal opinion. There are other legal opinions that say the very opposite. The bottom line is legally, it is very unclear how much longer Trump can continue to kick the can down the road for TikTok. Either way, it's going to be here until mid-September. So if you want to read this executive order for yourself, or if you want to see a list of the lawmakers who voted yes to ban TikTok, I'm going to email both documents out to you tonight in my Facts HQ email. So make sure you sign yourself up.